Okay, so please note that this information session is being recorded. A copy of the recording along with the slides will be available on OWL under the International AFE section for reference. So welcome everyone, and thank you for attending our information session on paid international alternative field experiences. I'm Erin Sardito, Program Coordinator for the Teacher Education Office, and I'm joined by Pin Sun, Faculty-Led Study Abroad and Safety Abroad Coordinator with Western International. I'm excited to announce that teacher candidates can now seek out their own paid international alternative field experiences. So today I'm going to review the AFE criteria with you and share the process for requesting and receiving approval for a paid international AFE. Pin will discuss Western's international travel requirements, and we will review the resources available to support you before, during, and after an international experience. We will have time throughout the presentation and at the end for questions. Feel free to type them in the chat or raise your virtual hand when we break for questions. So, as a reminder, AFEs must meet the following criteria. So it has to be a valuable learning experience with substantive responsibility, similar to that of being a teacher. It has to be related to the teacher candidate's professional goals, and these are outlined in your AFE proposal. It has to be related to the field of education, and it has to be with a supervisor who will provide consistent guidance and supervision throughout your placement. It also has to be related to a teacher candidate's BEd specialty. And you have to make sure with your placement that you're not replacing an Ontario certified teacher. So uncertified teaching, emergency supply, and those kinds of opportunities do not qualify for AFE. And this includes international opportunities. So if you were working at an international school, taking the place of an Ontario certified teacher, that would not qualify or be eligible as an AFE experience. For this opportunity internationally, it does have to be paid. The opportunity has to be on site, so at a physical office or at a site location. And the placement has to be 90 or 120 hours in length. So please note that this process is only available for paid opportunities, and it does not apply to unpaid volunteer opportunities abroad. Volunteer opportunities, domestic and international, require a placement agreement to be established between the university and the hosting organization. This process takes significant time and is often not possible to establish in time for the placements to begin. So stay tuned for volunteer AFEs organized by our office in the coming months, but this is just for paid opportunities. So for the process to request a paid international AFE, international organizations may share paid opportunities with the Teacher Education Office, and those will be posted along with other AFEs. This process is specifically for teacher candidates that find a new opportunity not listed on the AFE site. So once you find a paid international AFE that you're interested in, you can submit an AFE proposal form following the typical AFE request process. For any international opportunity, the teacher candidate must meet with me virtually or in person to share details of the placement and review the required steps for traveling abroad. Once we agree to proceed with the opportunity, I will contact PIN to confirm that your travel location is safe and approved with Western International. Once that's approved, the teacher candidate and I will meet virtually with the main contact for the host site. So this could be an administrative person, someone that works with HR, or the principal or head of school. And we'll also meet with the person who would be the AFE supervisor. So the person who's actually supervising you while you're out on placement. The host site contact and the AFE supervisor might be the same person, or they might be different people depending on the placement site. And so in that meeting, we'll discuss the details of the placement and agree on expectations for the teacher candidate as well as of the site and the supervisor. We will also discuss whether there's any training or required protocols from the host site. So once I've met with the host site and I can verify that the supervisor and the host meet our placement criteria for AFE, then I can approve the AFE request. Are there any questions so far about how to request an AFE or the steps required for approval? Again, you can throw something in the chat or you can raise your virtual hand if you have a question. Okay, not a problem. We'll have more time for questions throughout if more come up. So once the AFE is approved by me, the teacher candidate must meet with Western International's or must meet Western International's travel requirements. So now I'm going to pass it over to Pin to share more information about the safety abroad steps.
Hello, everyone. My name is Pin, and I'm the faculty-led study abroad and safety abroad coordinator at Western International. I'm very happy to be here today to talk about the safety abroad requirements, as well as the resources available for you. So first of all, we'll look at a small section of Western safety abroad policy, and then I will take the time to go through the 7 safety abroad steps. Now let's think about this question. Why do we mandate safety abroad requirements? First of all, students' safety is of utmost importance. So your safety is the most important thing to us. But there are risks involved in international travel. We had students who got sick during the trip and who missed their flights. And during early 2020, COVID suddenly hit, and we had to reach out to all the students who were abroad then and help bring them back. While some problems are beyond anyone's control, many can be prevented, and mandating these safety abroad requirements is the most effective way to prevent problems from happening. Here's another question. Who retains primary responsibility for preparing in advance of international travel? Is it Western University or Faculty of Education? Or a student traveler, which is you, or a safety abroad coordinator, which is me? You can type your answer in the chat box. So what are your thoughts? Who retains primary responsibility for preparing in advance of international travel? And I guess? C? Okay. Okay. Any other answers? Nope, C is correct. Yeah, that's the correct answer. I'm happy that no one chose D. So let's look at a section of Western safety abroad policy. If you look at section 5.2, it says all student travelers retain primary responsibility for preparing themselves in advance of international travel, to research and be aware of the risks involved in their planned trip, to ensure they are physically and mentally prepared for the travel, to ensure they have appropriate medical and other insurance, to conduct themselves in a safe manner while traveling, and to bring any concerns they may have to the attention of the activity sponsor, which is the Faculty of Education, or the International Learning Office, which is Western International, as soon as possible. And 5.1 says, Western International provides the resources and support services aimed at facilitating safe travel for students. So I recommend you to go to this website and read the entire Western safety abroad policy before your trip. Okay, so these are the 7 safety abroad steps that I'm going to go through with you today in details. This is first step that all travelers need to take when preparing for their international trip. So this is the Government of Canada website, and you can find a link over there. I'm not sure how many of you are aware of these. So actually, Government of Canada has assigned 4 levels of risks to each destination country. So you can see that the green is level 1 and the red is level 4. If you have found a placement somewhere in another country other than Canada, you need to go to this website and enter your destination country there in the search box, and it will give you the risk level that's assigned to your destination country. So for example, if you enter Spain there, and then it will tell you that Spain is was placed at level 1 risk as of March the 3rd. So please note that this gets updated constantly. So I would monitor this website up until the departure date. And Western Safety Board policy restricts student travel to countries or regions with an official travel advisory stating avoid non-essential travel, which is the orange one, level 3, and avoid all travel, which is level 4. So if you notice that your country is marked as level 3 or level 4, reach out to Erin and reach out to me immediately, because normally it's not authorized. If it's absolutely necessary for you to go, there is a special authorization process. Okay. So again, this is through the Government Canada website. It gives you all the information regarding health and safety outside Canada. You can see that you can find information, before you go, what you should pay attention and while you are away. And also it has everything about your safety and security outside Canada. I want to draw your attention to the section that gives advice for different types of travelers, including women travelers, travelers with disabilities, and LGBTQ community travelers. So if you have any specific concerns, go to this website and it gives you official advice from the Government of Canada. Any questions so far? Before I talk about step 2? No? We're good? Okay. So step 2, this is a mandatory step. Western has developed a comprehensive training module to help prepare Western students for their international travel. And you can see that the first 2 rows, there are 9 modules. For the academic preparation, you do not have to do that because it doesn't apply to you. It applies only to exchange and study abroad students. But other than that, the other 8 modules in the first 2 rows are mandatory modules for you to complete. And there are 2 additional resources that I highly recommend you to take a look. It talks about critical and ethical engagement, as well as gender norms and sexual violence. And there are also 2 optional post-experience modules that helps you reflect on your experience and transfer your experience to practical skills. So how can you satisfy this requirement? So you need to complete the training modules through OWL. Each module will take about 20 to 30 minutes. So 8 modules will take you about 3 to 4 hours, I would say. And then after you complete the modules, attempt the final quiz. And you need to pass the quiz with 80% and more. And you need to pass it in 2 attempts. Okay, if you cannot pass it within 2 attempts, that's not the end of the world. You can just shoot me a quick email and I will grant you another chance to do it. My recommendation is that please make sure you review the modules before attempting the quiz. The quiz is not super difficult. However, without learning the modules, there's a high chance that you won't pass within 2 attempts. Then after you pass, you will be able to see the virtual, the electronic certificate of completion in your OWL account, and you need to upload that to travel registry. I'm going to talk about travel registry in the next step. The deadline to complete this is at least 3 weeks before your departure date. And you can start from this link when you are ready. And this is how it will look like in your OWL, and you can see all the modules there, and you can access the final quiz and certification on the left-hand side. Okay, so this is the 3rd step, and this is also mandatory, travel registry, and you need to complete this in Atlas, which is a platform that's created for all Western international activities. And actually, there are 2 steps that you need to complete in Atlas for your travel registry. And I can show you the 2 steps. First of all, you can go to this homepage, Atlas homepage, click on search programs on the top, and you can just enter other university sanctions in the keyword search box, and you will be able to see the right program there. So you will need to submit your application under the other university sanctioned international experiences program. You can just click on that program and that will take you to this program page. Alternatively, you can just click on this link to access this program page to start your application. You just click on the tab at the bottom that says log in to apply, and then you just log in with your Western credentials to start your application. Okay. Two ways to start. You can either search from the web, the front page, or you can just click on this link directly. And this is what it looks like when you complete all steps. So you can see that there are two sections. The first section is called an application. So this is the kind of application for your travel registration. This is not your application for your internship. Okay. So it will take you 5 minutes to complete the application, and then you submit your application. It will take about 1 or 2 business days for our office to process and approve your application. Basically, we need to double check that your destination is safe and you have all the information there and your activity is university sanctioned. Then we will approve your application and we will send you email with instructions on how to proceed to the next step, which is travel registry. After you receive your email, you can just follow the instructions to proceed to the second step. And you can see that we are collecting these information for your travel registry. We are collecting emergency contact, your insurance policy information, and you will need to upload your certificate of completion of the pre-departure training to the additional documents step. Okay, so first of all, complete the pre-departure training, obtain the electronic certificate, because you will need to upload it to the additional documents step. So that's one of the travel registry steps. Okay, now here's a question for you. Why are we collecting all this information from all Western students on university sanctioned international travel? You can unmute yourself if you want to say something. Why are we collecting all this information? Why are we collecting your emergency contact information? Just so that I can give a random call to your mom when I'm bored? So we are collecting all this information from you so that we can support you in case of an emergency. So again, think of 2020, early 2020. We heavily rely on our travel registry to be able to know where you are. And we will be able to reach out to you and support you in case of any emergency and anything unexpected happens. And we can support you by communicating with your emergency contacts with your consent. And we can even support you by communicating with your insurance company to make sure that, the cost is covered. So this is very important for us to know, to have as a record so that we can reach out to you when needed. Okay. And you don't have to finish everything in one sitting. You can always log out of Atlas and then go back to Atlas to continue with your application or travel registry. But how do you log back? You need to log back to Atlas through its homepage by clicking on the blue click here button, enter your Western credential, and you will be able to see your existing application. So please do not click on this login to apply button twice, as that will start a brand new application. And that will confuse you and that will confuse our office as well. So only click on login to apply to start a new application for a new program. And if you want to resume your application, you need to log back through the homepage and then locate your existing application. Click on the steps to continue to fill out the form. Okay, so any questions so far about pre-departure training, about travel registry? Okay. So step 4, travel and health insurance coverage. All Western travelers are required to possess out-of-country medical insurance. So I will give you like a few seconds to just read this tragic story, which is true, and that was posted on a Government of Canada website. So please reach out to your own insurance provider to double check about your coverage to make sure that you have sufficient coverage for your entire trip. Okay. It is highly recommended that you arrange for travel insurance in addition to medical insurance to cover your time abroad, which may cover expenses incurred due to lost baggage, flight cancellations, missed flights, or other unexpected scenarios. Regardless of your insurance plan, it is important to review and become familiar with exactly what your plan covers, how long it lasts, and where and how it works. Be sure to ask whether the plan covers pre-existing medical condition and COVID-related costs. Ask the company to explain the definition, limitations, and restrictions of any pre-existing conditions, tests, treatments you may have undergone. Where can you get insurance? You can get insurance through Western or your parents' insurance if you're still young enough, or through a travel agent, insurance broker, or your credit card company. All full-time Western undergrad students are automatically enrolled in the USC travel insurance plan if you have not opted out. You can go to this website and click on benefits booklet to check out the detailed coverage. And you can see the policy number over there. If you have any questions, reach out to USC. So any questions about insurance? Before we talked about international SOS. Have any of you heard of this service, international SOS or ISOS? No? First time? So Western is partnering with International SOS for global security, health, and safety support for all Western students, staff, and faculty. And you can see Western's membership number over there. They can be, assessed 24/7. And they also provide first language support. And they can be contacted for emergency and non-emergency. So when you are preparing for your trip, if you have any concerns, even if like you have not confirmed the placement yet, and you just have some concerns about the security or safety of your destination, and give them a call, and they would be able to give you professional advice on the region. You can also sign up for their immediate security alerts so that you can be alerted immediately right after something happens in the relevant region. So you can use it to prepare for your trip, and while abroad, and like when you are sick, you don't know what to do, give them a call. They will be able to assist you. Like say, if you lose your passport and don't know where to go, and they can direct you to the local resources as well. Most importantly, they can support you in an emergency. They can help arrange medical transportation. They can help monitor your situation, and they can help arrange an evacuation as well. And they will work closely with our office to assist you. And you can click on that website to check out more information if you are interested. On top of all those excellent services that they are providing to our students, they also provide emotional support, either for crisis or like just counseling needs. Every Western student is eligible for 5 free counseling services per international activity. Okay, but please note that you are only eligible for this service while you are on your university sanctioned activity. If you are here located on campus, you need to reach out to the local resources. Okay, so they have an app as well. So I usually ask students to download the app before the trip. Okay, So vaccinations. You can again go to this Government of Canada website, enter your destination country there, and it will give you a recommended list of vaccinations if there are. And it is up to you to decide whether or not you are getting additional vaccinations. Always talk to your family doctor to make sure that you are healthy enough to travel. Last step, register with Canadians Abroad if you are a Canadian citizen, and they have an app as well. And anything serious happens, they will reach out to you through the app immediately. So it's just another layer of support that's available for you. Where can you find all this information? Okay. You can find all this information on this website, on our International Learning Safety Abroad website, and it tells you the 7 steps in details. So, and these are just the safety abroad tips that I'm giving you. You can review it. You can just review these tips like when you are preparing for your trip. Okay. This is my contact information, and you can see my email and my number there. And I'm located in the IGAP building, Western International, which is the 2nd floor. Feel free to drop by if you have any questions regarding these safety abroad steps. Okay.
Okay, does anyone have questions for Pin before I move on to the resources? Okay, so this slide is helpful for you to refer to afterwards. If you're watching the recording, then you can click some of these links from the slideshow. Or if you're referencing this at a later time, then it brings you to all the different resources that we've highlighted within this session. So as I mentioned, a recording of this video and a copy of these slides will be saved on OWL on the AFE site under International AFEs. I've also posted the paid international AFE document there, which outlines the process that we've gone over today, step by step. The document also includes a checklist and a timeline to support teacher candidates in staying on track with their AFE request. So the resources that Pin and I discussed today are also linked in that document and on this slide, as I mentioned. So once you complete your AFE, you should submit your AFE self-evaluation form and ensure that your supervisor submits the supervisor report as well. So those are linked on this slide. And if you have any other questions about this process, you can contact me or Pin. So our emails are on this slide as well, along with all the other linked resources. So thank you everyone for taking the time to learn about our paid international AFE process today. I'm going to stop recording as we move into the question period.